Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is part 4 of our series, Our Life Living Abroad in Mexico, which was many years ago, but we wanted to share our journey and our experience of what it was like living abroad in Mexico. The clip that you're about to see, or the video that you're about to see, is a continuation of part 3, so you won't see an abrupt beginning. It'll just be me continuing talking from that video because I had to divide it and edit it because it was over 30 minutes. I don't like to do my videos over 30 minutes. I prefer to be even less, but I think it was 37 minutes, so I had to break it apart and put it in a part 4, so you would just see me continuing talking from where I left off in part 3. So I hope you enjoy. Keep watching. My parents adored my husband, adored him, and they treated him like a son as well. And he has so many memories with both my parents. It's just amazing. So he has them in his heart and his soul, and we still talk about them, remember them, we honor them. We have an altar that honors my parents and my in-laws, and we celebrate them, honor them, think about them. Still, there are angels even though they're gone. And same with my in-laws. They, adored me. I adored them. We have so many memories together. And like I said, they treated me like a daughter. They welcomed me. Just the memories that we had together, even like with my father-in-law having all those story times. I mean, he's told me so many stories. Another thing that I appreciated from my father-in-law was he even taught me about the United States, because history wasn't my forte in school. And so I thought, why do I need to know George Washington is the first president? That's not going to get me a job. I had that mentality. And I told my father-in-law that because he knew so much about the United States. He lived here actually for 2 years in Chicago. So he got to come to the United States and actually live here and know what is it like. So I went to his country and he came to my country, and we both had experiences. My mother-in-law came many times to visit. She never lived here, but she had her passport. She was able to visit many times, and she did. So she got to know the United States as well. So yeah, so wow, I really miss them. But so he was like, Carmen, it is important to know about your country. It's very important, because you might not see it now, but with time, it's going to be a lot for you to know all about the government, all about politics. I know a lot of people in politics lie, like a lot of lawyers lie. They have their bad and their good. But it's good to know where you stand, what your laws are, what your legislation is, what the bills are, who's your senators, who's your congress people, who's your president, what's he about, what's the vice president about, what you can and can't do in your country, what rights you have, what freedoms, what are the amendments. And I mean, he was just he was just a package of wisdom, just a smart man, package of wisdom. And he didn't have much schooling. And he's like, you just need to know that, because one day it's going to come in handy, believe it or not. And now with everything that we're going through in this country, in the United States, unfortunately, with the pandemic and with all the political chaos and all the stuff like that, it has come in handy. I have learned so much about my country and the government and laws and freedom and rights and all that stuff that he taught me, and that he said you really need to know. And I did it. I did my research. I learned. I would never be in politics. I don't like politics in the sense for me to be involved in it. But I'm educated where I know now all about my country, all about the government, all about the laws, all about the rights and freedoms and acts and bills and all that stuff. Now I know that whole world. And now I know where I stand, where my family stands. I know how to appreciate more my country for a lot of reasons. And I know how to, speak up and fight for what's right in other ways, stuff like that. So yeah, he was right. And so he taught me so much, and he encouraged me to learn. And ever since then, I have been researching and really learning positions and people in those positions and every single thing about the United States when it comes to just life itself, but especially politics and the government and what the country is all about. What happens in certain states, what places are interesting, and even about the culture and the art and the food and the traditions, because I knew all about the Puerto Rican tradition. I knew all about the everything about Puerto Rico, my flag, my island, the food, the traditions, and to this day, we honor and celebrate all Puerto Rican traditions. We honor and celebrate all Mexican traditions. We eat both foods. We're into the culture and the art still, and the music, of course. So yeah, we're into all of that. And it was because of his encouragement that I was able to be very educated and smart and informative of what my country and my people are all about. And so I appreciate him so much for that. He has no idea what that did for me. And if he could see what was going on now, he'd be like, see, I told you. I told you. Look, I forgot all about my smoothie. Oh, I might have to blend it again. Ah, but oh my God. So yeah, so storytelling. So with my father-in-law, it was all about storytelling. My mother-in-law taught me a lot about the community, the Mexico as a country, their state. My husband's from Michoacan. I won't say the hometown because we're living in some scary times. So and it's good to keep something sacred and private. He's very proud of his hometown, even to this day. We have been there before the pandemic. We have visited 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row. And then when pandemic hit, we couldn't go that year, and we haven't been back since. And we probably won't ever be back, because we don't really know when this pandemic is going to be over. And my husband doesn't have a relationship with his family. The only person he has a relationship, and he's so close, and he's always been close, is to one sister, his baby sister. The love they have for each other is amazing. Everything's real and honest and decent about that relationship. She's never lied to us. She's never tried to comfort us or hurt us, especially my children. She adores my children. In fact, she's my daughter Carolina's godmother, confirmation godmother. And and she's always loved me and appreciated me all this time. Never once was there a lie or hurt or she came for me or betrayed me or my children or my husband. Never. It's never been tainted. I mean, it's just stood the test of time. We love her dearly. She loves us dearly. We talk to each other every day, sometimes a few times a day. When we go visit, she's the one we stay with. She's the one that we enjoy, her and her children, and we love her family as much as she loves us. My husband, anything she needs, my husband has her back. She never has asked for anything. No money, no help, nothing. And sometimes my husband likes to do for her because she deserved it. She, like I said, has never betrayed us, never hurt us, never lied to us. So, and he's always had even though they were far apart in age, for some reason they always had this bond. And so he's always wanting to give her stuff, do for her. Me too. I'm always sending her stuff, taking her stuff. But she's like, you guys don't have to do that. You guys don't have to do it. And it's all real. And she gives us stuff too. Whatever she can, do for us and give for her, she goes all out of her way, above and beyond. And so we are happy to give to her and do for her every chance we get. So, yeah, so that's the only one. And of course, he gets along with all his cousins over there. And his uncle, his favorite uncle, is Tío Roberto. They have been close since he was little. I mean, he has taken my husband everywhere. He has taught him everything. They are super duper close. When we go there, they hug, they cry when they see each other. The memories that they talk about is laughing and crying, laughing and crying. He adores Tío Roberto, and he's never had a problem with any of his cousins over there. So when we're there, we go and visit them and spend time with them. His parents, like I said, are not alive. His aunts, he sees his aunts. He has two aunts that are living, three aunts, and he adores them. He's never had a problem with them. When he was young, they would get mad at him, like they'd be mopping and he'd cross them, little stuff like that. But three aunts that he has a relationship and he enjoys, and when he goes there, he loves seeing them, and the fact that they're still going, they look very good. So it's pretty much siblings. We will never ever have a relationship with them again. This is a choice that we made together. Our children feel the same. we don't have any will intent for anybody. We wish you well, but we can no longer have communication or relationship. We have no desires, no interests, never ever any plans. But like I said, we don't have any will intent. We wish you well, but you live in your life with your family, and we'll do the same. And there will be no going back. And we made that decision. I think we really clicked hard on that decision between 10 and 12 years ago. It was probably 12 years ago, maybe even a little bit more. And it's been nothing but happiness and peace and the serenity and the excitement and the respect that we have and the happiness and the way we live our lives is just amazing, amazing. And when we were involved in those relationships, it was just toxic, fake, fraud, you name it, just disappointments, betrayals. It was just, things were so chaos. And once we got rid of all of that, and I hope they have peace and they're happy too. Like I said, no any will intent. We wish them well, but we're definitely going to stay like this. Even with my family, I've had to do that. And there I still have some siblings that I communicate with, maybe over text messaging. When I had a Facebook, we did Facebook. I don't have Facebook anymore. Facebook didn't make me happy. Stuff like that. It was just you saw people's true colors, even in my own family. So, I'm an Instagram person, YouTube person, of course, as you see. So yeah. So, and it's just for the best. Everybody's made peace with it. We're happy the way things are, and that's just the way to be. But the people that do deserve to be in your life and that mean so much to you, those are the ones you cherish and you invest your time, your energy, and your emotions into. And she's one of those. So when we go visit, she's the main person that we stay with and we enjoy. We don't even want to leave each other, but we know we have to come back and she has to stay there. We're hoping that one day she could get a passport and be able to come visit us like my mother-in-law did. That would be amazing, amazing. But yeah, like I said, his Tio Roberto and his aunts and his cousins, no problem there. So we take the time to go visit them while we're there and enjoy a couple of days and things with them. And, my family here, we don't, most of my family is either 10 hours away or 3 hours away. Like I said, we don't really have a relationship. One brother, we keep in touch by text messaging or phone call. Yeah, I don't have a relationship really with anybody else. One brother, another brother that lives in LA, we keep in touch through texting and Instagram, and every blue moon maybe a phone call. So just those two brothers. The rest, I don't really have a relationship or communication with, but I wish them well. It's just not meant to be, and so but you do wish them well, and that's it. They're in their life with their family. It's all about them over there. And we did the same thing. It's all about us and our family. So that's what happens. I think it happens in a lot of families. A lot of families. But you have to do what you have to do to keep your mind and your happiness, your peace. And I know this is going off the topic of Mexico. Oh my God. But those are the things that my father-in-law taught me. He also taught me, hey, families are like that. Families are like that. I don't like to see anybody hurt, whether it's my children or whether it's you, my daughter-in-law, who I love dearly, or any of my other daughter-in-laws. But I understand where you're coming from. I love that you're a tell it like it is person. I love that you defend yourself, your husband, your family. I love that you hate everything that's a lie, a betrayal, a hurt, all this fakeness. I love that you don't relish in those things, that you don't like it, and you would protect your family with everything you have, and that you keep it sacred, and that when you say enough is enough, you stand your ground. And I love that. You should never change. You might not end up having a lot of friends, especially here in Mexico, but it's okay, because the few friends you have are going to be gold. And that's what you want. So he appreciated the way I was and the decisions that I made, and he supported it 100%, and he agreed with it 100%. So that meant a lot, to have his approval and his support and his agreement, and that he admired it. And my mother-in-law understood it, but my mother-in-law was always like my mom, trying to keep the peace, trying to bring the family together. But my mom did give me an advice at the end, because I used to cry, and I know this is kind of getting off the top of Mexico, but I used to cry a lot through the years. Why can't my family be a bonded family? Why can't we stop arguing and fighting. Why so much drama? Why can't we be close like other families? And one time my mother sat down and said, look, Carmen, if your siblings don't do it while I'm alive, they're not going to do it when I'm gone. Because the mother should be the reason of keeping the family together and keeping the peace. And if I'm not good enough for them to do it while I'm alive, it's not going to happen when I'm gone. And I need to know that you're going to be at peace with it, that you're going to be okay. If there's any brother or sister that deserves to be in your life, welcome them, hug them, invest in them. But if they don't deserve to be in your life, you need to realize that your family now is Jorge and those kids. That's your real family now. Like their family is their spouses and their children. So you have to do what's best for your family, which is Jorge and the children. You have to protect that family because that's your real family. If your other sisters and brothers want to be a part of that and deserve to be a part of it, great. Hug them, love them, have the memories. But if they don't, let them go. Let them go because you're going to cry forever and you're going to make yourself so sad and so miserable that you're going to die from a heart attack and they might not even come visit your grave. It's not that I'm downing my children. I love all of my children and my grandchildren, but I know my family and I know that we're just not that type of family. And I wasn't a good enough reason to put it together and keep the peace. So when I'm gone, there is going to be no reason. It's just going to be on each individual person. So I love my children. I want all of you to be happy and at peace. But I know you, Carmen, you're humble, you're loving, you're giving. Like they are in their ways too. But because I'm close to you and I know you, you know, you're the most honest, decent, loving, giving, compassionate, humble person. And I know it really affects you more. And so this is why I'm focusing on you and telling you to let them go. If they don't want to be a part of your life and they don't deserve to be in your life, then wish them well. Never even have any unlove or will intent for them. No. You could even pray for them and wish them well from a distance. But focus on your husband and your children, which that's your real family, your children, who you should love and protect with everything you have. And you will see that if you take my advice, you'll be the happiest person. You'll finally find your peace. You'll finally find your true happiness. You'll finally see the blessings. And she was so right. But it took me even years after she was gone to make the click. Once I made that click and decided that, you know, if you didn't deserve to be in my life, if you came from me or my children, if there was any toxicity, fakeness, fraud, betrayal, hurt, I was letting you go and there was no coming back from it. And it's been the best blessing that I could have ever, by any decision I could have ever made. And my mother was right on the money, right on the money. So I know that's a little bit of far from Mexico. I might have to split this up. But yeah, so going back to Mexico, I learned a lot of wisdom and advice, and I was so educated and taught and encouraged by my father-in-law in so many ways about family, about religion, about my country and the government and the whole life that United States is about, and that just to be you know, into it. Even religion, know what your religion is, know what it's about, know what it requires, know how you feel, know what you want and need to do to feel complete, to feel happy, to feel a part. Whether that's in your religion, you should be that way, in your country, your government, the whole lifestyle of what the United States is all about. You have to be all into that. You have to be all into family, what you're willing to accept and not accept to keep your happiness and your peace of mind. He's the one that taught me that and encouraged that and supported it and approved it and agreed with it, along with my mother's wisdom. My dad was kind of more quiet. He was like, you know, don't take it. Let it go. Let it go. He didn't take nothing from nobody either and was a teller like it is person. He was a teller like it is person and take anything from anybody either. But he didn't have conversations about it. He wasn't offering any advice. He wasn't having he just loved you and protected you with everything he had. My mother-in-law was that too. Even though my mother was a peacemaker too, but she knew when it was deserving, when it was not, and you know, when you should just like let it go. But my mother-in-law, she didn't give up to the end. She wanted to be the peacemaker and stuff like that. And You know, she didn't die a very peaceful death, and it's sad because she was in a whole nother country. She had came here when my father-in-law passed away. She had came here, and I told her to live here, to sell her house or to have one of her children live there and take care of it for her, but to come here and I would take care of her to her dying day. I would do it for my parents. I would do it for my mother, and she was like a second mother to me, that I was doing. And the 2 months that she was here, I took care of her. I bathed her from head to toe, and she goes, "Doesn't this make you feel disgusted that you have to watch?" I'm like, "No, I don't feel that way. I do it with all my heart, with all my love. I would do it for my mother. I'm doing it for you." We would feed her. We took care of her diabetes. We took care of her spiritually. I mean, I gave her my heart and soul and took care of her. Spent time with her. I even recorded her saying the rosary and the memory she had of her and my father-in-law when they met, of how she felt about Jorge. We have so many photos and videos of. So anyway, yeah. So that's another thing. The relationship that I had with my in-laws, especially my father-in-law, everything he taught me and did for me and encouraged me to his dying day, the communication we had over the phone was the same. The relationship never faltered, never changed. It was always the same. So loving and so just inspiring and just encouraging, and the same protection, the same approval, everything was the same. So that's what I took from me. I'm so happy that we moved to Mexico and we lived abroad, because I got to experience that journey with them, that time with them. They got to know me. I got to know them. You know, I got to hear all these stories and see all the traditions and the experiences for myself. So it was just the best thing we could have did, was take that time, live over there, even though we decided to come back. And in the next part, I'll tell you, I'll go into how we decided, anything else, memories that we had in Mexico. Plus, I'll go into why we decided that no, it was better for us to come back and live in the United States. Like I said before, if I believe I mentioned it, we didn't go live abroad because my husband was deported. My husband was a legal permanent resident from the beginning of our relationship. And then, of course, like I said, he started his paperwork previously before me, but when he had to go up for review for the actually final permanent residency, it was based on our marriage and our child, and the fact that his intentions were honest and he went in with the best intentions, and he proven himself to deserve the permanent residency, and he worked really hard. So yeah, so he's been a legal permanent resident since the beginning. And so we didn't go live abroad because he was deported, but there's a lot of people with that journey and that story, and my heart goes out to them. I've been watching a lot of documentary on Unliving. One that I really loved so much and that touched my heart and made me cry so much was Unliving Documented, which is produced by Selena Gomez. It's on Netflix. Please check it out. It's like the best documentary ever as far as undocumentation and the journey that people go to. I put in my part one video, I put in a list of people that have been deported and they were married to American people, and they decided to just go ahead and make their family life in Mexico, and and they're happy and everything's going well for them. And so you can see all the different people's journeys, and you know, all the different parts of it, and you know, what they've accomplished and how happy they are, what they miss or don't miss, what they would do if they could go back or not, you know, all this stuff. So check out their channels. I put it in my part one list. I'll try to remember to put it in this list again, but definitely watch Unlimited Document if you're into people who come here and are documented or trying to get their citizenship or residency, or the journeys that they go through when one of your spouses is American and you have children that were born here or not born here, all that kind of stuff, just to kind of get some info and some more knowledge of what that's all about. So I highly recommend that. But I'm going to leave this part 3 here. Like I said, next part will be about some more memories. I'm going to try to find the photos. They're going to be very few, if any, because like I said, we didn't have a camera and we didn't take a lot of photos back then in 91. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of that. But yeah, I have memories of visiting Mexico after that, so I would probably also include that in one of my part series of this series. So maybe in part 4, part 5, but definitely in the next series it will conclude the memories we have of living there and what made us decide, okay, maybe not. Maybe Mexico is not meant for us to live here, but we're grateful and happy for the journey and the time we had and what made us make the decision to come back and continue our life in the United States, where I'm from, where my children are from, and now my husband has been here over 30, he was there since 1985, so 36 years. So this is his life, this is his country now, and I'll explain to you why my husband has not gotten his citizenship yet. He's getting there. And you know, he's working on that, so that'll be good. But it was a decision that he made at the time for a specific reason. So I'll talk about that in my next series or the series after. So look forward to that. Anyway, I hope, even though I got off a little bit on certain things, I had to back it up and kind of connect the pieces. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the notification bell because that gives you a heads up on every time I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and continue to watch this series and our next part. Thank you.